Hello everyone, thanks for joining me today on Tamper with a Plan. In this video, we are down to our last two choices of planner, and I'm going to kind of show you what I'm thinking for them. I have been using the She Plans Print and Plan Planner for 2 weeks now, 2 full weeks. It is now Saturday night, and I didn't fill out Saturday. I don't usually write a lot for Saturday. But now that's the evening, I'm probably going to put a couple things that I want to complete this night. So I still fill this out, but we're really ready for the next week. And I did get the whole entire next week ready. So that is a video upcoming. So this will be the 3rd week that I'm using it. So let me talk about what I'm wanting to change if I stay in this planner, the She Plan planners, after next week. And then I'll show you the second choice. So this is just completely set up. And you can see it's working really, really well. The first week, I tried it as a 1-page, and I rolled it out several times because then I realized I just needed a 2-page. The second week, which was this last week, I did a 2-page. I purchased a inexpensive $2 PDF from She Plans for a weekly to-do list. It looks like this, and I just customized it for what I needed. And it worked really well. The reason I'm considering not keeping this actual worksheet as my second page, let's see a couple of these. You know, I still just covered it up and I had enough room. And it's not even that I have to white out all of these headings. I mean, that's a little time consuming, but anything that I'm gonna do on a second page for this planner is gonna be time consuming. So anyway, so I have an idea to replace this, but oh, also, so the $2 PDF, great deal. So that's a weekly to-do list, and I consider that for a year. So that would be $2 for 52. And since I'm doing this as a daily, that would only last a month and a half. So after a month and a half, I'd have to buy another $2 one, which is completely affordable. But then I would just keep buying and printing, and they're really close, but they're not quite what I wanted. But what I really love is they gave me all the categories that I wanted, and some extra space to write other things that I was thinking about. So I do love that. So that helped me figure out that I want like maybe 3 to 4 extra spots to write something. It helped me figure out that I want a place for the weather, because I was just writing that every day, which I really like to kind of keep track of what day was what, according to like when did it rain type of thing. So it's really, really close. And I could keep using it and keep buying the $2 PDF, which would be fine. And I do like it. But let me show you what I'm thinking if I kept the She Plans. And there's a lot of things, like there's a lot of things I like about this one. So definitely one of all the 7 planners, when I tried 7 planners for 7 days, it's still, this is my favorite of all of those 7 planners in this system, how it is now with the weekly there. So this one I kind of did the mock-up of the weekly and how it would look. So that's how I knew I would kind of like it. But now we're talking about the other planner, the second planner that is in the contestant that is in the running. And you're gonna recognize it. It is the Tool Planner. The Tool Planner, there's so many things I like about it. I decided that this layout wasn't, even though it's really pretty, this again was Saturday, so it wasn't really filled out, but every other day of the week, it worked really well with a couple things I wanted to change. So I did try it once without any stickers or anything, and it's a mess. Like, I don't like how that looks at all. It's just like scribbles everywhere, but it works, right? It works in a pinch. So this is the new kind of mock-up layout that I did with the planner, where I wanted more room over here, because here I'm just feel like I was having to write too small, which, you know, it's like a pet peeve of mine. I know a lot of people write small, but I don't want to have to really think about writing small. Now these lines are still college rule, which is so funny because it's like, obviously in college you have to use the college rule paper. I don't know when I started writing so big, but I do. Probably when I was just scribbling things down, or maybe when homeschooling, you know, writing bigger for the kids. I have no idea. I'm just making excuses now, but I do like to write bigger. So I wanted more room, so I did scoot the line over in the mock-up. It's like about half the page, which I do want. The favorable, we'll go over a couple favorable things, but I have my weather here. I have my channels here for work, an extra box. The stars indicate extra box. I have the boys list, which I added. And remember, like last year at the end of fall, I had actually a boy planner where I wrote down their list individually. Like in each section, it was a vertical happy planner. So each son had a box. Well, now I'm having this full list, and they don't even necessarily have to look at it, but they can if they need to. And it's it's going to be in the same spot every time. So that's the idea for this. I have household over here, which I like with the check marks. And then like a little spot for dinner, some extra boxes. So quite a bit of extra space, declutter. And then down here is the wellness, which I did like from last couple of weeks. I liked having these kind of separate boxes for the wellness here. So I really like that. I like that where they're all kind of separate and I can write and focus on separate things. So I did that down here. So this is a really ideal layout. Okay, so just a couple notes. So definitely some extra space, and then the wellness down here. It's just a couple notes of things that I don't love, but they're not deal breakers. We already discussed how the lines are pretty small, and other than that, the timeline is great. I like that it goes to 10:30 p.m. because I'm usually still doing stuff then. The other thing I don't love that the wellness now has to be down here, because if you look at a blank layout, this is what it looks like. So I could kind of put the wellness down here, but then the household list would have this line. I mean, it wouldn't be a huge deal. So I could still play with it and move things around, but I don't love them down here. So yeah, I would have to put them up here. The check boxes wouldn't really pertain. It would be fine. It's actually, it could be moved around. So that's one thing nice about it. I love having these months up here, actually. So that's one thing that I love. But just another thing I don't like is that it does not have a monthly or a weekly in the planner. So I would have to just find some from Happy Planner. I do have a planner that I got on clearance from Happy Planner, not from Happy Planner, but I think it was Michael's or maybe Joann's, that I can take the months from and the weeklies from. But then we're talking about a double day weekly, and I just don't know how well that will work. But I do kind of like a weekly in front as a pre-plan or a meal plan or something. So it's not a deal breaker, but that I would have to grab a weekly from somewhere. I would have to grab a monthly from somewhere. So those are my reservations about this. Also, I do have to draw the lines if I don't want it to look, messy like this. So not a big deal, and it was quick, and I just did it in pencil, and I could do it in marker. I don't have to do it in washi like I did before. I can just make it simple and quick and have it ready to go. So it's actually incredibly customizable. So that is a plus. Okay, so that is that one. This is She Plans again, and this is what I was thinking for this. If I'm not gonna keep purchasing, although $2, like I said, is super affordable to get 52. So I think I would end up needing 7 more. So that would be $14 to just get the 52 all the way to 365. And it is pretty set up. With whiting everything out, it is pretty set up. But when I started thinking about, this is a Happy Planner page, the things I would have to cover up is right here. And then I could cover up this timeline here with washi, or I could just ignore it. But here's the She Plans page that I love, this 1 day page. Things I like better about this is the space here to write and just how they have the lines here. But it goes from 6 a.m. to 9 p.m. 9 p.m. is still kind of early for me, but I hope someday it's not. I hope someday I'm like getting ready for bed at 9 p.m. It has the weather box. I have household here. I have a little extra section here. So the space-wise, I think it's about the same. The tool looks more like a regular normal planner spread. This definitely looks pieced together, and it doesn't quite match. You have the dots here. The fonts are fine, because especially since these numbers don't count and these don't count. So it's kind of like a blank page. But the benefits of the She Plans, so we're gonna go over my little list here. I made this like checklist. I mean, I do this for all the planners that I've done, so this is nothing new, and obviously so far nothing, even if it had a lot of checks, nothing really worked completely. But these are the things I looked at. Does it have a monthly? She Plans does. Tool doesn't. Does it have a weekly? She Plans does. Tool doesn't. And the thing I like about the weekly, like I said, I could take it from Happy Planner for Tool. But the thing I like about the She Plans weekly is that it's a 1 page. So look how functional this is. You know, this is what I said, I wrote meal plans, but I could write an appointment. I could write anything. And I did tape these on. That's in the other video. You can check and see what this is all about here. But I like it in one page. It also has the month, which I like. I circled all the special days like anniversaries and birthdays. I boxed the day that my husband's coming home. So there's a lot of functionality in this page. So I really like this page. I also like that it has a monthly. And now I love their hourly. I love this other section. So it's kind of like She Plans really works. Back to the ideas. Has a weekly. She Plans, yes, has a one-page weekly, which I totally love for a daily planner. Has dividers, neither of them do. Has half-hour marks, both of them do. Time runs late. Only Tool runs late. She Plans goes till 9. Tool goes till 10:30. She Plans does have a little line down here, so it could actually go till 10:30 if I wanted. But Tool also has space that could go to like 11 or 11:30. Which is probably more when I would be still maybe finishing some stuff up. All right, place for dividers, She Plans does. Tool doesn't, so let's look at that. Tool goes straight from, I don't know if we have it shown in here. Okay, so it's not here, but it goes straight from the 31st, for instance, of January. The next, this would be also the 31st. These are kind of mixed up. And then this page would be the first. So to put a divider, it would have to be between the 2 pages of the daily, which is not a huge deal after you're done with it. So when you're done with it, it doesn't matter. But She Plans has a very purposeful page for a divider, which I'll show you now. I already added the divider in my example. And if I unclip this, it has this separation page, so the divider could go there. And I could tape this on, or paper clip it like I have it. Or I could cover this on the back and just have it as a divider. So those are the options for She Plans. So let's just look. It has a monthly. It has goal planning, which also Tool doesn't have. That's not a deal breaker that Tool doesn't have this, but I do like it. And it has a note page. Then it has my 1-day weekly. And then it goes into the week days. So She Plans also, because it is customizable, we'll talk about this, but, oh, okay. So the last thing is has 2 pages. She Plans does not have 2 pages. I would have to produce the other page somehow, and Tool does have 2 pages already there. So that is what's more simple about Tool. But some of the other things, adding a monthly, adding a weekly, it doesn't really have a room for divider, but that's also with the monthly. Oh, I have, has dividers, and then it has a place. Yeah. So I don't know. The other thing about She Plans is it's a printable, so you can print it how you want. And let me show you what I'm talking about here. I think I have some pages in the front here. This was my 7 days for 7 planners planner, so I still have all the pages in here. Okay, so this is how she designed it so that the timelines are both running next to each other in the middle. And I think that's smart, like, you know, if you wanted to see, I don't know, what time you worked out yesterday, maybe it was at 9, today you want to work out at 8. So now you have it right next to each other. So that's nice if it was a 1 page. So I think that's a good setup if it's a 1 page. Now, what I have been liking though is having my timeline on the outside of the page. So let's switch these real quickly. So what I can do with She Plans is when I print the page, I can punch this side instead and have my timeline here, and then I could see, we'll use this as my, this is like my action page. I can see everything I have to do while I'm writing my timeline. It's all over here. Now, every Tuesday is gonna have the timeline over here on the right, which is my favorite. So she switches timeline. She switches the place of the timeline. Here it's on the left, here it's on the right. Okay. Wednesday is on the left. So now, let's pull this page from over here. This is just to show you guys what I'm thinking. Okay, so that was Thursday with the planning, or this is Monday. Oh, so this is Tuesday. I have the option to punch on this side, have my timeline where I like it, and have everything else over here. Okay. Then for Thursday or Wednesday, I can punch it in here, have my timeline to the left, and now have everything over here. So now I'm writing and I can see everything at once. Okay, now Tool, Tool has it already there, okay? It's already on the side like that. So when you're writing your timeline, everything is over here. So it already has that. The only thing I don't get with the Tool is I never get it on the right side, which I like, but again, it's not a deal breaker. So, but it will never be able to be over here, which is my preferred side to have it and have everything over here. In the sheet plans, I only get that every other day, but it is every other day. So half the week I get it my favorite way, and then the other half of the week, I still get it on the side because I can punch it differently, and I get it my less favorite way, but I still functional. Okay, so those are those things to consider. Now the last thing to consider is the companies. So Tool is made by Office Depot. It's a big company. I don't really know anything about Office Depot. It might be Staples. No, it's Office Depot, I'm pretty sure. I don't know really anything about them. I don't actually know if it's their house planner or what, you know, there's not a ton of information, even in the paperwork that comes with the planner, but it did come shipped from Office Depot. So it's kind of like a mass produced big company planner, which is fine if it was perfect and everything works well. And if it's the one I decide, I don't really care about it. It's just another thing to add into the thought pool, right? Whereas Sheet Plans is created, it actually was taken over from the original creator. I don't remember the original creator's name. The new owner is Andrea, I believe is how you say it. Not Andrea, Andrea, I believe. And she is a homeschool mom. She has 5 kids. I only have 3. My kids are older, but so that makes it like more, I feel like that makes it a little more special because it is a person, not a corporation. And she does everything herself. It's not even a team. So it's like one mom. So now I feel like I'm supporting a family, a homeschool family, somebody relatable people that have, well, probably not similar because she sounds super busy. I'm busy with different things, but possibly has, you know, similar values, similar life. So I like that. I like supporting a mom. So even though her planner as a one page wouldn't work for me, I mix it with my pages because I really am going back and forth. Like already this last week, I probably changed my mind 3 times between these 2 planners. So it's not an easy choice. And I think it's good. It's good to have 2 that would really work. But back to the pages of the Tool planner, this could be notebook pages. They're basically like a notebook. So, I mean, I'm not worried about wasting these pages. I also, if I really wanted one of these months, for if I'm really missing it, I could come and cut it out and put it in the Sheet Plans. But Sheet Plans does have the month at the beginning of each week. So you really don't have to go too far. Okay, so the beginning of each week, you have the month. So you can still flip back and see the month at the beginning of each week. So that's definitely something. So maybe I don't need it on every day. I can just have it at the beginning of each week. So I don't know. If I don't have a weekly, or if I have a 2-page weekly, it messes up the flow because right now I have the weekly. Now, to grab a weekly from the Happy Planner, I want to show you what the flow problem would be, although I'm not saying this would never be a problem otherwise, because I am going to have a little bit of a problem with it. I'll show you in a second on the Sheet Plans. Okay, so Saturday, so my weekly would start Sunday. Sorry, I'd have to put it here. So now I'd have a Happy Planner weekly. Let me just pull one out and we'll see it. Okay, so let's pretend like for Tool, and this is an actual scenario that was in my head, is using the dashboard. Okay, so this is dashboard, spring market, big Happy Planner. So that we're putting in the monthly for Tool. Now we have to do it in between, wait, where's the 31st? Just pretend this is 31st because I'm trying to show the Saturday part, I think, more. So here's the last day of the month, let's say. We have the divider here for the monthly popped in. And now we have a weekly popped in. And it's a double, it's a double page weekly because that's what we'd have to use for the tool. So what I could do is possibly, since this is Saturday especially, I could glue these together and then it would flow into Sunday. We would say this is the first. Okay, so that works there. Let's try the next week. Friday, did I have it all in here? I don't. Let's try back here. Okay. So for the next week, not the monthly one, I'm gonna come back and grab this page because so I'm just working this out. This could actually work with the dashboard pretty well, actually. I wouldn't need this page. I wouldn't need this side. Okay, so for on Saturday's second day, I could come in, pop this in. Glue the second part of Saturday together here. Then I'd have a weekly and go straight into Sunday. So that could flow okay. The little bit of problem flow, and it's actually not that bad either because you could just do this again and glue Saturday together. But actually that only works if the first is on a Saturday. So if the first is on a Monday, then we have a whole different problem. Does that make sense? This works now because I can glue the page together on Saturday. But if this was a Sunday, I would have this all filled out. So I could glue the page together, but then I would lose all the information. I don't know. So this is a little messier is the point. It's a little more confusing and a little messier to do it with the tool, but not impossible. It could work for sure. Okay, so let's get back to the actual talking points and the things that I'm considering. And again, I have gone back and forth in the last couple days multiple times. Tool holdups are, it doesn't have a monthly, it doesn't have a weekly, but I can use my Happy Planner monthly and weekly. I do have to draw lines, but they're pretty simple. And when I don't draw lines, it's messy, but I still have plenty of room. Okay, so that's tool. With sheet plans, oh, the last thing is I like the hours of the timeline better. The lines are smaller than I would really like. You see, like when I don't have enough room, I sometimes skip. And it's not necessarily that I don't have enough room to write. I don't like how crunched it looks when they're right on top of each other. This is just a grocery list. It's not a planning day. I was just writing stuff down, but I don't like how they look so close together. But so sometimes I skip a line, and it's totally doable. It's totally manageable. Yeah. Point is, do you not have to decorate? Do you not have to use washi? Just draw some lines. This would be like probably what I would want to do every week. So, and it's not a big deal. I would not really want to use it like this. I just thought this was like a big mess. If I have a really busy week though, no problem, but I'm going to try to make the time and then I'll set it up. Okay, so then also the time to set up the monthly and the weekly. The weekly will work as long as I have dashboard. I can just glue it on the Saturdays. The monthly might be a little trickier, not a huge problem. The page color difference is kind of funny. This looks gray, but that's going to happen in sheet plans as well. Let's get back to sheet plans and look at this. The only thing that I have to do in sheet plans, and I say the only thing because it's not simple. Oh, it's actually over here. I moved it to the front, didn't I? Is pop in an extra page, but every day. Okay, so we're talking 30 extra pages. I am only putting 1 month in at a time anyway, so I will just grab them together. Also pros are I can customize so that sometime I can have the timeline over here on the right, which I prefer. But again, have to draw the lines, have to cover up only the top, which is nice. Now I have sheet plans printed on this really nice paper that I like a lot, the confetti, creamy confetti. And I do have other paper. I think it's 32 pound and it's white. So that could be used with the Happy Planner, and it probably looks similar to how these 2 pages look anyway, which again, it's different than the tool anyway as well. The tool's kind of creamy, which I do like. I like how it's kind of creamy. All right, so those are the choices. Pros and cons list. Part of me is just like, just use the tool. It's already set up. But then again, it's not totally set up. And then the other part is, you know, again, small business, homeschool mom, relatable. And I love the layout a little more than the tool for the space between the lines. I don't know. Also, you know, tool looks very businessy, which is fine. And like I said, I can make it pretty. We already know that from my previous videos. It looks very official, but I guess kind of She Plan does too. Look, it's very professional. Okay, so those are the things I'm looking at. Pros and cons. Those are the things to consider. Those are what I'm going over. And literally right now, like I set up the sheet plans, but then I already brought back out the tool. So I'm definitely using sheet plans again this next week. And I'm using it with these printables that I used. But starting next week, I'm either going to be switching to the tool or to the sheet plans with my Happy Planner inserts. So we shall see. I know it's probably getting so tiring to watch these, like it's up in the air, but like this is the real life decision making, which, you know, maybe I'm drawing it out. I'm definitely second guessing myself, but I wasn't this week. And this is what is making me think maybe She Plans is really, like when I was filling this out, I wasn't second guessing myself, is what we're dealing with and looking at. So the tool with some lines, She Plans with a Happy Planner page. I don't know. I guess we will see. So that's what I'm considering right now. Again, I've been going back and forth. I'm not positive. So we'll see. I have one more week to really work in the She Plan. So before I really have to make the decision, because I did decorate for this next week in the She Plans. I already decorated the monthly. So I'm all set up for this week. So we will see after February 7th. No, we'll see after February 8th what the final choice is. So yeah, I will keep you guys posted. But just know I'll be planning in this one this week. I have this video coming out, the setup. I also have the monthly coming out set up. And we will go from there. And hopefully, now that I've narrowed down to 2 and I'm really close, hopefully I can now get a lot more done. So that's the plan. So essentially, this is what we're looking at, where it's a Sheet Plans with an extra page. Although I will be switching to Happy Planner if I stay with the Sheet Plans, I think, or a 2-page tool. That's what we're looking at. And we'll see which one will work the best. Okay, that is it for this video. We are just working on finalizing the last 2 planner choices. I'm super excited as I'm getting closer. I could not wait to get this figured out. Thanks so much for joining me today on Tamara with a Plan. I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.